Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Educational Gamer and we are playing Strategic Command World at War. We are playing as the Allies in war against Axis Germany. We did last time spend the turn playing the Soviet units, so we are back to playing the UK. I think we did all of this stuff in the North Sea. Unfortunately there's a lot of rain, so we can't really use our air power to the extent that I would have liked to. But there are some other things that need to be done. So let's make sure that our supply lines over here are free of German U-boats. Which they seem to be, so that is fine. These units down here have all moved. So let's turn our eyes then towards North Africa. The Germans have removed their forces just a little bit. We do see some Italian submarines down here. Not too sure whether there are too many other forces. I think there's a sandstorm over here, so we can't actually attack that, which is unfortunate. We do have some tactical bombers which could engage though, at least these ground units. And I think I would like to pound the Africa course over here a little bit more. And you know what, I think I should actually use the British headquarters here a little bit more wisely. So which units are we actually covering? These tactical bombers, that's not necessarily what I want to do. Also these fighters, I would rather like to take these special forces and instead maybe of this core do take the army. So that should be the stronger units. So let's take the anti-tank guns against the tanks, doing less damage than we would have hoped. Could do some damage against these Germans down here, which might be interesting. Although I really want to punch through the tanks. So yeah, let's try to focus on the tanks. Ooh, very nice attack over there. Can we swap you out with these guys? Okay, let's move you down over here. Let's move the tanks up against their tanks. Be a little bit undecisive in our trade. Oh! That was a bit of bullshit. Okay, so we also have these Indian tanks now. Can we pull you out? We can if we move you. So move you over there, move you over here, you over here. Okay, some damage done on the Germans. Can't pull you out unless we pull you out. But you still have a strike left, right? So yeah. Let's get you back. Move you over here. Move you over here. Could strike. Wouldn't be much point doing that. Could strafe these guys with our fighters. I mean, we do still have some artillery shells, so let's do that. For some damage on them. And let's try to strike them. Okay, no avail. Are you sitting in the sandstorm? You might be. Let's bring you up over here and see whether we can strike. It looks a bit like we can. Okay, no. That is the sandstorm. Unfortunate. Bring the heavy cruiser down. But that is not doing any actual damage. It's only reducing their morale, which is at 2%. Naval bombers. Naval bombers are obviously bad against attacking these types of threats. So yeah, let's not do that. Do we have any destroyers down here in the Mediterranean now? Looks like we don't. That is a bit of an issue. So what can we do against these submarines then? We could bring in our own submarines. Are you set to weird mode or something? Yeah, I think you are. And let's try to find some enemies. No one here. No one here at all. That was undecisive. Okay. So I really would like to take out these tanks, so let's try to do some strafing runs with our fighters, or even bomb them with our naval bombers. Yeah, as expected, that didn't really lead to success, but it was worth a shot, so there we go. Okay, do we want to seek out any Italian shipping then? There's no one over here. These battlecruiser might be reinforced simply by a point, even if it doesn't do much for us other than that. The heavy cruiser can move out. I guess this carrier can move in, this guy can move down here, and we can sort of protect our fleet down here, bottled up as it is, but still is alright. Down here in East Africa, we are trying to take out that position so that at the very least we can at some point maybe get some supplies. It is incredibly difficult to lead a war down here. Come on, so the situation would be 3 on either of these spots. It would be really nice to make more of an impression over there. Right, so can we come in from over here? Barely, just the supply trickles down so quickly. Still, let's bring up our armies towards that direction, and that might prove to be useful. These are Indian armies, British India. You guys can be placed in Mogadishu. And then we bring up these heavy cruisers just towards towards Kuwait, because I do want to find out whether that is a place where we can reinforce fully. And then these light cruisers might simply transfer to Singapore and hopefully protect us over there. Good. Other than that, all of these guys seem to be okay-ish. I guess we can send this garrison back towards Makal so that we can upgrade them at the very least, and then maybe they'll be a little bit more capable in the future. Other than that, this area seems to be fine. All of the other situations are somewhat resolved, so let's look at China. Down here on Hainan, we are trying to force our way on the island, or semi-island. Not sure how we should call that. Well, that was not the greatest attack. You should actually stay over here, I guess. And we are forcing our way into Hanoi. A little bit funny because historically, of course, the Chinese did end up in a war against these units. In a war against Vietnam. Well, not funny, I guess, in the stricter sense. But that was maybe a little bit later. So you guys are all fine. I'm slightly worried about these naval transports. So we cannot reinforce you. Is the supply really that bad down there? Can't be, can it? Okay, I guess we need to wait a second. Or you know what? Move you out, move you in. That's fine. Let's reinforce some of these armies so that they can be ready to fight should the need arise. Otherwise, simply distribute them sort of around. And that seems to be fine. Okay, down here then. In Korea, can attack. Move back. Move you in. Attack. Attack. There we go. So we should be able to capture Seoul. And move up a little bit. And then our fighters can... Can you maul? Let's maul these naval units. Yeah, that's fine. Good, good going. Over here in the north, we can push further on the Japanese over here. Slowly though. Even our engineers making some combat moves over there. But yeah, they are being pushed back. Special forces trying to take out these guys. Likewise you. That army. Okay, let's move the special forces over here, the army over here. And let's just try to drive them back. And you'll come on towards that direction. You can come down into Korea. And yeah, that pretty much settles all of these guys. Yeah, that attack is pointless though, so let's not do it. You're also coming up over there. And that is fine and lovely. For China. Can we upgrade anyone? No, 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 no. No, it doesn't look like that. Can we reinforce anyone? No, doesn't seem to be the case. Pretty much because we moved everyone, so that is fine. Yeah, happy about the situation over here. We do have some points to buy things. Probably the best would be actually more... Oh, we can place more things, including a garrison. Where would we want to place a garrison? Potentially down here. So yeah, let's do that. You are coming in over there, and then we'll ferry you down over here. Good. Everything else is fine. You know what? Let's move some forces towards the capital of the communist Chinese and see whether we should be placing some forces over there. And then we're going to purchase a unit as nationalist China. That's going to be a medium bomber fleet. Yeah, let's buy it. And that's fine. Good. Does settle things for China. We have moved for the USSR. UK I think is fine so far actually. Can't seem to move a lot of our forces. But other than that, well, I mean, these carriers, we might want to get them ready over here to strike against these Germans. Then maybe bring down more carriers towards this area. Don't think that's required, so let's actually move you down here and bring it towards Asia. And I think that would be, so the Pacific area, I think that would be a good place for carriers in our regard. Do we want to buy anything as the UK then? I don't think there's anything that we can replace easily, and that would be less costly. More fighters, more tanks. Heavy artillery is somewhat useful, I have to say. Engineers, paratroopers. Paratroopers might be very useful because we could potentially jump them into Norway. So, in fact, that is something that we might want to do. Let's place these units first, though. So maybe you over here. The first tank unit. Let's bring it to Scotland. And a heavy cruiser for the Americans, which we are going to place into San Diego. That's fine. And then as the UK, what are we going to buy? Paratroopers with better infantry weapons and long-range aircraft, so you have a longer operational range. Don't think you need AA weapons. Does it cost a lot? Only 10 points, so yeah, let's actually do that. And then other than that, I don't really think we need to buy a lot of things. Could research more, but I don't think we have a lot of money. Would like better anti-submarine warfare capabilities still. But yeah, not for now. Right, UK is settled. Well, we could potentially reinforce some of these guys. But no, not now. Reinforce some of these guys. How about India? We do have the artillery over here. And you know what, I think it makes sense to try to transport these over towards Africa. Maybe that will turn the tide over there. We'll have to see. So yeah, the US. Can it research anything? Doesn't make much sense to do this. Could do tanks. Could do weaponry. Could do advanced armored warfare over here. That area down here seems to be about covered. Ground attack weapons, we are spending all that we can. Mobility has been researched. AA defenses I don't think are required, except maybe on some of the aircraft. Ooh, you don't have long range aircraft? Oh, you do, but only level 1. Heavy bombers I despise. So yeah, let's spend some... oh, we have spent all that we can with the US. So yeah, it's fine. We're only waiting on production technology. There might be a breakthrough. And then we can spend a little bit more. Until I think until then we can at least reinforce some of these things and do all of that. Do some upgrades as well. Upgrade the fighters. It's not that inexpensive actually. But still making sense to me. Reinforce. 56 points. Yeah, and I think these things only tend to get more expensive as you go ahead. Oh, we do have some destroyers over here, which I think should be reinforced. And some tanks, which we should be upgrading. Although it might make sense to move you out towards the UK first. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah, and we actually moved these guys out. So let's try to shield these guys with our forces. I'm not sure that's a legal move, but I'm pretty sure that that is what would have happened in real life, so to say. Okay, yeah. I didn't expect there to be submarines so far ahead on our lines. So actually the UK might be required to buy even more destroyers. And we did see a lot of submarines over here, although we did sink some this turn. So yeah. That does also mean we could potentially buy, as the US, some anti-submarine warfare technology. But then again, we have been spending that pretty much the entire time, so I think that's fine. I think we can bring up some submarines to Y. That should be okay. I'm very intrigued to see where these Japanese will be going. But yeah, other than that, we seem to be somewhat fine. There's nothing we can upgrade over here, well, except for the special forces to get some mobility upgrades. But I don't really think that is needed. We have 2 special forces over here and a garrison unit, which I think is fine. So if the Japanese attack, we do have some measure to respond. Couple of heavy cruisers, couple of 3 carriers. One of it is already upgraded. All of the other ones are fine to go, I think. So yeah. So regarding all of these guys, so fine. Yeah, and I think Hanoi will probably fall next turn. But here things are fine. We didn't manage to break the tank, but still, all in all, I'm fine, all things considered. Yeah, attacking this submarine really is not that purposeful. Looks like we might be requiring more destroyers for the UK. Oh well, we'll have to see. For now, it's a very short episode, but I think we might actually post them back to back so that you have both moves of the Soviet Unions and the Western Allies. So I think it should be fine, and we'll put in a cut in here, and next time we'll see whether the Germans will actually at the end of October do any more advances, or whether they will stop for the very bad autumn weather that I fully expect to come up in the Soviet territory over here. So, thank you very much for watching. See you guys next time.